Hello, everybody. My name is Rick Napier, or Clarence Rick Napier, the president at 321 Biz Development, and I'm partnering with sitemarket.com. That's SITEMARKIT.com. And this training is for the County Canvas program that creates advertising opportunities for small business owners for print and digital versions of the magazine. It also has opportunities for online networking for business owners to network with each other. And finally, it includes some corporate level sales system training that I'm bringing to the table for small business owners at no additional cost. And this training is a corporate level training that I had as a vice president in Fortune at a Fortune 500 company in California. So this whole training is to help the team do better with County Canvas advertising sales and networking and helping small business owners do better. So let's begin. The expected outcomes from 321 Biz Dev training are the following: install sales and business develop systems, accelerate progress through a sales learning curve, minimize or eliminate sales anxiety and frustration, improve sales productivity, conduct more effective prospect appointments, improve sales performance, which means better closing ratios, and 7, increase no cost referrals. So we need to understand what small business owners want. First, let's look at two relationships between small business owners and salespeople. And those two relationships are congruence and incongruence. Congruence is two lines that never touch. A is the business owner line, B is the salesperson line, and they never intersect, and the salesperson and the business owner do not connect. Incongruence is when the lines touch. A is the business owner, B is the salesperson, and they intersect, and the business owner and salesperson connect. Now, congruence and incongruence comes from mathematics. It also has a psychological angle as well. So, salespeople's biggest obstacle is connecting with small business owners. A salesperson will find more difficulty converting small business owners, prospects into clients in the congruence scenario. That's when the lines never touch. A salesperson will find less obstacles converting small business owner prospects into clients in the incongruence scenario. And that's when the lines do touch. So, how does a salesperson make solid connections or incongruence with small business owners? The answer is the salesperson must position himself or herself as an equal to the small business owner prospect. How does a salesperson benefit by positioning himself or herself as an equal? Let's look at what business owners constantly think about. Now, what I'm about to say is from my own experience as a corporate executive, a sales manager at a Fortune 500 company. So I've had hundreds of conversations with small business owners. And when I was in corporate America, I could not help them with their sales issues, their sales challenges, because as an employee, as an executive, I could only focus on marketing the product or service that I had. So one, small business owners constantly think about the following: why do I feel alone in my business? Example, they have no advisors, not even the CPA. They have no support. They're going at their business pretty much all alone. In fact, the person that the business owner talks to the most is the spouse. And even though the small business owner is surrounded by all these people, and a lot of these people are really yes men and yes women, the small business owner feels alone. Next, the small business owner always thinks about Did I make the right decision to start my business? And this says a lot to a lot of people who start their business: lawyers, CPAs, accountants, dentists, plastic surgeons, real estate agents, insurance agents, people who have a great idea technically, but may not have the business development or sales experience to be successful at it. The next one: will my business be profitable next month, next quarter, next year? And the bottom line is there's major uncertainty about finding clients. The next one: every salesperson soliciting their products or services do not care about my business. They only want to sell me something. And 9 times out of 10, that's kind of true. I mean, the salesperson who's marketing to that business owner, yes, they want to sell that product or service, but it feels to the small business owner that's all they want to do. And primarily, and we'll probably get to this later, it's because the salesperson is talking too much. The salesperson is talking 90% of the time, and the business owner is just looking or listening to that salesperson maybe flip pages, flip charts, flip through PowerPoint presentations. So, how does a salesperson connect or position himself or herself with small business owners? The salesperson needs to elevate their status to business owner status. Even as a self employed independent contractor, you must see yourself as a business owner equal to your business owner prospect. And even if you're working for a company and you are an independent contractor, you have to set the tone that you are a business. In fact, as an independent contractor, you are the business owner to yourself, because many companies that you work for as an independent contractor, they don't give you any guidance too much on how to do the business, because then you would be an employee. So, in fact, you are a business owner as an independent contractor. Small business owners have more respect for independent contractors or self employed individuals who see themselves as business owners. Small business owners are looking for equals. Small business owners have little respect for independent contractors or self employed individuals who do not see themselves as business owners. Most independent contractors, self employed individuals, see themselves as being inferior to small business owners, and those business owners can feel that. Independent contractors or self employed individuals must speak the language of business as much as possible, as soon as possible. Small business owners feel more comfortable when common business language is used. Uh, Independent contractors, self-employed, you must share the same concerns you have as a business owner, and that builds rapport. Building rapport is the foundation of a sales system. Share your efforts to find new clients requires you to listen more than you talk. Learn about the prospect's industry. So let's talk about the County Canvas interview. So let's talk about the County Canvas overview. Site Market, based in Fort Myers, Florida. Site Market, based near Fort Myers, Florida, and myself, Clarence Rick Napier, the insurance broker, promotes small businesses in print and digital advertising or magazines. Per metro area, 8 businesses are featured in the magazine, with print mail distribution to 50 businesses every 3 months. Advertising and advertising benefits and features include corporate level sales system training to help businesses master 5 front end sales activities, which are contacting, prospecting, setting appointments, closing, and getting zero cost referrals. Now, again, this is an added feature or benefit that comes with advertising with the County Canvas. And these 5 front end sales activities, I learned these activities when I was in corporate America and just started corporate selling, and I learned this through a company called Miller Hyman. It is now called Korn Ferry. Please look it up. KORNFERRY, kornferry.com. And back in the late 1990s, this class cost $12,000 for 8 days of training. I believe the current price for this training is $25,000 to $30,000 per person. And the company does not train one person. They train about 30 to 50 people at a time at a cost of $25,000 to $30,000, which means it is almost impossible for an individual to get this training. And also, another benefit and feature is once a week, online networking via webinar for owners to promote their businesses for 3 minutes. And a lot of people are familiar with these networking groups in major cities, and you sometimes would meet at a coffee shop or like a Denny's or maybe even a Chamber of Commerce setting, and you get 3 minutes to talk about your business. I think the first 1 or 2 times might be free. Then you may pay a fee to join the group. And that fee could be $75 or $200 or more. And then there's like a monthly or quarterly fee to stay in the group. Well, this online networking via webinar with 321 BizDev and SiteMarket, there is no fee. There is no place to drive to. So you get to save money on gas, save time, no more being in traffic from start to finish from the time you leave your house or your business to get to the networking event at a coffee shop, business location, or a Chamber of Commerce event. An hour and a half there, then drive back to the office, and you get back to the office by noon. None of that here. So number 4, per metro area, 8 businesses are featured in the magazine with print mail distribution to 50 businesses every 3 months. So we're going to talk about a concept called pull demand. And pull demand is it's a advanced sales topic. It's not a gimmick. It's what professional salespeople do to provide their business owner prospects who become clients a great sales experience. So I repeat, this is not a gimmick. And a lot of this pull demand conversation comes from psychology. In fact, when writing the sales system for 321 Biz Development, I had to go to, I would say, 20 to 30 PhD studies on what PhDs wrote about selling and consumers and how consumers perceived the selling system, the sales process, the experience they got from being sold to. So let's start the pull demand questions to ask business owners. Number 1, how do you promote your business in magazines, radio, social media? Any answer is good. Don't challenge the response. Number 2, how many people contact your business from any advertising or marketing source? Again, any answer is good. Number 3, how many new contacts does your business make, whether the contact reaches out to you or not? So how many contacts does the business make? And whether that contact calls you back, emails you back, or meets with you. Number 4, during appointments with prospects, what is your closing ratio? Number 5, how often do brand new clients refer your business to their friends, family, or colleagues? Number 6, how often do you get a chance to talk about your company from an owner point of view? Number 7, what has been your experience with belonging to local networking or Chamber of Commerce organizations? So the County Canvas Overview, your role is to be in 90% listening mode and to record business owner notes, especially when the business owner acknowledges dissatisfaction or failure with the current marketing or lack thereof. So there's something called the soft close. Many people are familiar with this phrase, but the phrase that we use at 321 BizDev or the definition that we use at 321 Bids Dev is not, I repeat, is not the same definition or feeling or what you might think, because 321 BizDev has something called the prospect interview form. So our soft close is not what you think it is. So even with limited feedback that the county canvas can help business owners, say the following: based on the feedback you gave me, it looks like the county canvas advertising, free training, and free online networking can put your business in a better position. And we recommend that salespeople tell the contacts or prospects that they would like to make an appointment for the business owner and myself, Clarence, to discuss the details. Pick two dates from next week and ask if morning or afternoon is better. Get the best email address.
This
Oh, I want to.
conference will now be recorded.
Go ahead. I just want to record these kind of things. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sometimes uh, they weren't. They didn't have a good CPA or something like that, accountant, or somebody was spending too much money somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you also had, so that was two, and then the other one, some people didn't know how to even though you have a business, and like you said earlier, if you're like just running the business and you have people that you hired and they're not doing their job to
Yep.
assist you,
Yep.
and they're wreaking havoc on the business, and then you have family owned businesses who the younger generation are coming in, and it's no longer the word of the mouth,
Mm-hmm.
because back in the day it was word of the mouth and being in the yellow pages.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not even word of the mouth, because you have to like take for instance like these foodie people, to know where to go eat. I'm on a foodie page for San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Even like when I go to Las Vegas, I'm on a foodie page, or Dallas, I'm on a foodie page for those specific areas. And those people go in and they tell you what was good and what was not. And your advertisement, I feel like, should gear towards um, giving off the right information.
Right. Right.
That's
Right.
another thing. You can have advertising, but if it's not good enough, if there's things weren't bold, like I would change sometimes their advertisement, like take out stuff because it might be too much, it might be too crowded,
Yes.
and let's just put this is boom, boom, boom. Let's just do these three, and then that you do. Like we do shoe repair and we make them shine. And those heels, we will change those 6-inch heels to a 4-inch heels, and they would still look the same. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Instead of saying blah 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 blah, and it's looking junky.
Right.
So
Right.
some, so I sometimes I would go in and look at their advertisement, and we would talk about it, and we would clean it up.
Right. Okay. So I want to.
Or we might add more ads, more services if they had more services. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So thank you for that. So Jaylene, are you free, or do you
I'm
have you got your kids?
I'm
Oh,
still
there you
here.
are. So what do you think? So the psychology of Jaylene from Orlando, previous from Miami, Florida, Senorita Cubana. How do you feel about doing something like this?
In my opinion, I think this is really exciting work. It's going to help, from my understanding, business owners get clients on the local level, which is really what's hard for business owners because social media doesn't really result to clients on a local level, and more so they find somebody in a completely different state. It's just, it's not attainable, the social media aspect, as it was before, unless you're trying to sell a product on TikTok where it could be anybody around the world. But businesses like landscaping, construction, they need people on the local level, um, which is I think that's where we could help out.
I just want to let people know when I met Jaylene Rodriguez, who was referred to me by a person who was running for a local office or maybe a national office in Miami. Uh, I'll give you the short version. I said, Jaylene, there's a CPA in Miami, and let's see. Let's. This is when I was working 321 BizDev more so than the insurance business. And I said there was this CPA. I called him, and I think Jaylene, 'cause you can finish the rest. Go ahead.
I called the CPA. Give me one.
Oh, go ahead.
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Okay, Jaylene has a one, two, three, like a 3 or 4 month old daughter. Her and her fiance just had a baby.
Okay, congratulations.
Hmm.
Thank you so much. It's just that my mom handed me back the baby
Okay.
because it's been 30 minutes. But um, when I spoke to the CPA, he wasn't really sure about me coming over to his business, but he said, "Hey, if you want to do it, go ahead." So I went over to his business. I bought him a French bakery because I really wanted that anyway on the way, and and he and he was super surprised. He was like, "What are you doing here?" 'Cause he did not expect me to be there, and he told me to reach out to him later on.
Hmm.
But he says that nobody has ever come to his business, nobody has ever done anything like that before, and so that's what I feel like people are looking for. I also did a lot of door to door for campaigning for a local representative, and so I'm very familiar with I'm just familiar with not being fearless and not being afraid to ask questions, but also not acting like I know better than them. That's really important. Sometimes people just are really prideful and they don't want to ask for help, and it may take a couple more tries on your end to reach out to them before they're willing to give you a try. So to me, like a no, obviously a no means no at that moment, but it could also mean yes later on.
Yes, and it's well, thank you very much. And I only have like maybe 2 or 3 more minutes, unless people have questions. So if you have to take off and be with your young baby girl, I totally understand. But that's the thing. See, what a lot of business owners are looking for, they're looking for someone that they can relate to. And so Mr. Reginald in Silicon Valley, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I know you said you're wrapping up pretty soon, but I just wanted to add, you made a comment about like B2B and B2C being a little bit different. I think they can be a lot different, but they also have some similarities. When you were mentioning that you want to build rapport with people and connect and align with them. I think as a person that's worked in retail for so long, I think that's huge, especially when you work at a company that you kind of treat as your business. When you can relate with people or customers in a way that brings you down to the same level or up to the same level, then they definitely um, you get more or better interactions out of that, and you get typically more closes and more sales from that connectivity. So I just wanted to say, like, though B2B might seem like super different, I think they have a couple of similarities, especially when you can relate to, like you said, like dentists or plumbing. If you've done those things yourself, you're able to connect with that person and say, "Oh yeah, I've been in that same situation where I've needed to do X, Y, and Z," and that's why I have the ability to know like you might need this business that I'm offering or this service or whatever I'm offering to you. So I wanted to just make that connection there too.
Yes. Okay. So as we begin, the easiest way to do this is to get them to answer those questions and to say, Great, I think the county canvas will be a good fit. I think we can help you, but I would like to refer you to Clarence. If that's all you want to do, then I think that's the best thing to do. So then you can say, I got somebody, for Clarence or Rick to call. Now, as you build your skills more, you can actually, end up closing. Now, the closing part is there's another training for that, but at least this part, if you can get that person to communicate their dissatisfaction with what they're doing, that is the key. So if that person starts spilling their guts about the things that are not going well, that is a perfect sign. We call it a soft close, a trial close. And actually it's called selling without appearing to sell. When that person begins to say, "Oh gosh, Reggie, let me tell you, God, this is not going right. I'm still above water, but yeah, I just hired the wrong person and blah blah blah." That's called selling without appearing to sell. You're selling, but that person doesn't see you sell. What they see you doing is listening to their challenges, and that's what most salespeople unfortunately do not do. They spend their time. It's the opposite. They spend their time 90% of their time. They're telling you how great this product is. This will do this. This will do that. And the percentage of someone who buys when the salesperson is talking 90% of the time is only 7%. 7%. The percentage of people who buy where the prospect is doing most of the talking is at least 50%, and it could go as high as 80%. And those are not my stats. Those are stats from psychologists. When I started 321 Biz Dev, I spent probably 5,000 hours researching all types of things. How do consumers behave in two different sales scenarios? When the sales scenario was pushy, when the salesperson was talking a whole bunch, like 80, 90% of the time, the sales transaction that ended up in a close was only 7%. The psychologist wrote that when the contact or the prospect did most of the talking, they saw the salesperson as being a more favorable person to do business with. And that means you don't really have to have any sales skills. You just have to let people talk. And I really want to reiterate that, because if you want to see success in doing anything involving connecting with customers, especially at the B2B level, even B2C, like Reggie said, let people talk. There's and one of the things I was researching, it said, and I'll close with this. It said the reason why people buy when they talk is because their ears hear themselves complaining about something, tr- uh, looking to solve a problem. And the brain says, "Oh, Mike is talking about the challenges of his business, or the challenges of it could be the challenges of smoking or any other type of like addiction." When the brain hears you talking about your problems, the ears hear it, and the brain says, "Okay, let's fix it." It's a beautiful thing. When I saw that, I said, no wonder I wasn't succeeding as much as I mean, I was still doing good, but not good enough. That's because I was trying to talk people into it. And the other statistic is that many people who buy things from salespeople, they have a very unfavorable perception of salespeople because salespeople talk too much. And I'll close with this one example. There was this home builder in Wheatland, California, which is a little bit south of Marysville, California, near Sacramento. And me and this guy, his name was Brian, we were both in the real estate business, but we saw real estate start to crumble because of the real estate bust. So we started, doing some consulting work. So we met this builder in Wheatland, California. And Brian said, "You need to talk to Rick. He has a different take on marketing, blah blah blah." So Brian and I met with this builder in this model home. So it was Brian, the builder, myself, and this other guy who was like the investor. The guy was worth like $100 million. So I said, his name was Paul, and I said, Paul, I got these 20 questions to ask you. All the questions were open-ended questions that forced Paul to talk. I did not ask any yes no questions. So I asked these questions. I got to question 10, and Paul said, "Stop! Don't ask me any more questions." So Brian and I, we looked at each other, and we were like, "Oh, are we getting ready to get kicked out?" And Paul said, "I don't care what those other 10 questions are, questions 11 through 20. You have asked me more questions about my business than the Coldwell Banker broker that I hired to sell these 200 lots." And he goes, "Whatever you want, whatever you recommend that I do, I'm willing to do it." So he wrote Brian a $2,500 check, and he wrote me a $2,500 check, and he did it twice. He wrote us, $5,000 each, and we helped him fix some things with his home builder. He had 200 lots, beautiful lots up in near Marysville, California. By the time we finished working with him over 6 months, he had sold 30 homes because we understood what he wanted and we understood the complexities of his business. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to succeed at this business or anything that you want to try, be in listening mode. That will pay you lots of dividends. So any other comments you want to make before we close out?
I wanted to say thank you to Jessica because I realized I didn't say thank you to the congratulations on the baby. And I also wanted to bring up the fact that if somebody's giving you pushback or is giving you a hard time, you don't want to engage, you don't want to argue because they don't want to change their mind. And your objective is to come across somebody who does want your help. And we don't really have to sell anything. It sells if when you have a really good product, it sells itself. So you don't really have to do a whole lot of explaining, especially if the person is talking more than we are.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Nope.
All righty. Well, thank you for attending. And we'll have one of these next week. I'll send you some more details. I'll send you some lists. And here's the thing, I sent you a 4-minute video about deliberate practice. Does anyone have any feedback about that video?
Nope. I
Yeah,
don't.
I think that video was very eye-opening, and it is, like I said in the video, it is very hard to do that kind of thing and to think critically about yourself rather than thinking that you're doing well. Like you have to really look internally and discover how to get better and really actively, purposefully work on that stuff. So I think it was a pretty great video. Thank you for sending that.
Yeah, and when you begin to do this or anything else that you may choose to do, just remember, if you're new, that's why it feels awkward. It's just like any athlete, any type of person who's good at something. They have spent, physical time if you're an athlete, or if you spent some mental time if it's non-athletic. But in other words, there's always this learning curve. So if it feels awkward for you to call someone, do it anyway. Nothing's going to happen bad. The worst thing that can happen is no. They will say no, that I'm not interested. And a lot of times when they say no, that they're not interested, some of that has to do with your approach. They can tell in your voice if you want to sell just to get money for yourself, or if you want to move this product so they can help you. They can tell in your voice. So the best thing to do now, if you want to do some practice sessions with me, like, call me. We can, and you want to say, hey, let's do some trial trial like calls. You want to call me and let me hear your pitch, or let me hear your commercial, the 30-second commercial, elevator pitch they call it. I can do that. But that's really all it is to call people and ask them, are they interested, being in a print magazine that offers online training, online networking. They can talk because business owners need to talk. That's the other thing. So anyway, I can go another another 2 or 3 hours about this, but thanks for attending. I appreciate it, and we'll talk soon. But call me if you have any feedback. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Mhm.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.